Having the ability to train to failure is essential if you want to make good progress in your bodybuilding journey and you want to just build a good physique. But a lot of people actually underestimate, and a lot of people think they're trained to failure even though they aren't. So in this video, I want to talk about three things that greatly helped me to actually train to failure. First thing is watch smart people train to failure, and I say smart because a lot of people when they train to failure at the end of it, yeah, they do train to failure, but at the end of it, their sets, the reps look very bad. Their form isn't even close to what it looked like in the beginning of the set. So that's why I would recommend you watch smart people train to failure. A channel that does it very well. It's called Renaissance Periodization, and they sometimes invite some people to come train with them, and they just get them through a hard workout. And I recommend you go watch some of their videos. Go watch Renaissance Periodization, and you watch some of their videos of them training some people, and you just watch those people go into failure. And that's what a smart person going to failure looks like. Because Mike Isotel and all those guys at the Renaissance Periodization, they are very smart people and they're very smart about training and they know a lot. So that's why, and they really focus on technique. So even when the sets get very difficult, they always make sure the people they invite, the people that they're training with, they always make sure they still keep pretty much perfect textbook form. So maybe in the future, maybe soon, I'll maybe record a video. I'll record some videos of me training to failure, and I'll make like a compilation of it, so you can kind of see what it should look like and how what I look like when I train to failure. Because I also very focus on form a lot. I always make sure my form looks very good, so I could make a video like that for you and like compilate, maybe make like a 5 minute long video of me performing different sets, a lot of different sets on different exercises and taking them to failure. I think it's a very good idea. Like, so I could try it out. So watch small people train to failure. What this is gonna do is it's gonna help you to actually see what true intensity is, what it really looks like to actually push yourself. Because a lot of people think they're training to failure, but it's not even close. And the last rep looks fairly easy for someone who claims to be trained to failure. And I used to think I was sitting there and I was so sure that I was trained to failure. But the last rep I was performing was pretty much at the same speed. The concentric of the last rep was pretty much at the same speed as the concentric of my first rep, which shouldn't have happened if you're actually trained to failure. If you're actually trained to failure, the last rep should be fairly slow. The concentric of the last rep should be very slow in comparison to the first rep. And that's what you will see when you actually see someone smart train to failure. Because even some people will claim to train to failure on YouTube, but they still leave like 2 reps in reserve, 1 rep in reserve, even though they claim to be training to failure. So that's why I would recommend you actually look at smart people, intelligent people training to failure. And I think Renaissance Periodization, the people there are just an amazing example for smart people because they actually know so much about training and they have so much experience when it comes to training. So maybe go watch a few of their videos and just look at the intensity. Just look at how painful it looks for those people to train to failure. And you can't really call them pussies because they're actually people that are very hardcore. People that you see are very big and you know they've been training for years and you know they're very disciplined. And even for them it looks so painful to go to failure. It looks so difficult. And that's the difficulty, the true difficulty of actually training to failure. You see them just pulling weird facial expressions. You see they're concentrating getting super slow. You just see the last rep take them for 10 seconds to complete. That's how difficult training to failure someone's pretty much is. It's a difficult process. And you probably underestimate how difficult it is. And seeing people actually train to failure with good form is gonna help you to actually notice how painful and difficult true failure looks like. Second part of it is reduce your volume. Maybe if just for a while or maybe just forever. I think a lot of people train with very high volume, but so they focus on quantity instead of focus on quality. So make more gains to think to themselves, okay, I need to do more volume, do more volume, do more volume. But I don't even consider the possibility and the aspect of quality when it comes to your training. In my opinion, quality is more important than quantity when it comes to strength training, when it comes to bodybuilding. I think focusing on the quality of each set that you perform and actually taking them close to failure and performing each set with a very good form, each exercise with very good form, I think that's a way more important thing than focusing on quantity, focusing on doing more sets, more volume. And even if it's just for a while, even if you have like a good amount of volume, it's not too much. For just a few weeks, maybe I would recommend you to actually reduce your volume, especially if you're still a beginner. Reduce your volume a lot. You can just, even for just 2 weeks, you can do like one set per exercise. Literally, I did this for a while, just one set per exercise. But you do something. You really try to take each set to failure with good form. One set per exercise, and you try to take each and every set you do to total muscular failure. I think that would be very effective to teach you how to actually train to failure. Because right now, even right now, I'm doing 2 sets per exercise, 10 sets per session, and I take every single set I do to failure. And I've been doing this for a while, and doing this really helped me to level up the skill because I was doing this so frequently. I'm doing this so frequently, just going to failure. So it really helped me to really level up the skill of training to failure. Because if you never go to failure, how are you going to know what true failure feels like? And how are you going to know what 1 rep in reserve looks like and what 2 reps in reserve look like? But if you do it more frequently, you're going to get better at the skill and you're going to get better at actually knowing what true failure looks like, what it should actually look like to just perform an all-out set and grind like crazy to just get the weight up. So just reducing your volume, and that's the third step. I'll actually just talk about the second and third step right now. You reduce your volume, maybe just do one set per exercise, but you take every single set you perform to failure just for a while, just to just really practice the skill, just get those repetitions in. I think that would be very effective for most people. I don't need to do this forever. Like I'm doing this forever now. Maybe sometimes in the future I would change it and maybe just do higher volume but low intensity. But like I said, I'm just doing 2 sets per exercise and I'm taking every set that I do, I'm taking it to failure. And that was probably a big component and big part of something that helped me a lot to actually develop the skill of actually training to failure. Because for a while I thought I was training to failure, but I wasn't. I was so sure that I was training to failure, but I wasn't. And it's only when I started following these things in order and I started doing these, and I started just going to failure more often, trying to go to failure more often, that's when I just drastically improved. And the bonus tip, just have humility. Just have the ability to sit there and think to yourself, yeah, I'm probably not trained to failure. I think I'm trained to failure, but I'm probably not. And watching those people train to failure, when you watch them, don't think to yourself that you actually watch them and have the humility to think to yourself, yeah, do my last reps, do they actually look like this? Do I actually look like I'm actually pushing this hard when I'm training, when I'm trained to quote unquote failure? Really ask yourself that question. Maybe even something that's going to be very effective. Recall your sets. Recall yourself going to failure and compare it to the set of a smart person training to failure and see if it's even close. Take the same exercise that you saw someone smart taking it to failure, or maybe YouTube. Take the same exercise, perform it to failure, and compare the 2 videos and see if it looks even similar. If the last few reps look even similar in some way. If you even come close to grinding as hard as they did. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Hope you found this video valuable. If you're interested in my fitness coaching, then you can click the first link in the description. Don't run away from discomfort, chase it.